Hello and welcome to an introduction of stats and skills in Kritika 0. So, what are stats? Most people who play games are familiar with them. So, what do they do in Kritika 0? So, you have growth level. This growth level is not an accurate indicator of someone's strength. If you see when I take a piece of gear off, if I take my weapon off, I get 588,000 versus 599. If I take these pants off, again 588. But any player will know that a weapon is typically stronger than a pair of pants. So you can see that directly the growth level, not exactly an indicator. There are some stats that bloat that value. So growth level, don't take it too seriously. The only condition that growth level ever really comes up is this reclaiming Leon, and you need a certain amount of growth level in order to do a certain stage. So that's the only place it's come. 300,000, get that, you're good for now. Attack power is a really good skill, a stat that you want to get, and you can see I have a percent increase through my soul gems. The soul gems have a set bonus that they're giving to my attack power as well as through my conquest. The conquest boards you can open up from Cerulean, and what they will do is they will let you go through this board after you pay to open it. You can see you need a certain amount, you have to reach the right level. You need experience for running appropriately leveled dungeons, and you can fill this board and you can see the total stats that you're getting from the board. And this is one way that you can acquire it. You can go down and get the stats that you're after. So attack power, a really good stat. I'm getting some attack power percentage from the conquest that I'm doing, and you can see I have it from all different sorts of places. Primarily it comes from your gloves. You can see the 485 plus 121, so the 121 comes from the enhancement, 485 is default. The 121 comes from the roll, the 485 is from the item itself, and I'm getting attack power from the weapon. You also get it from your necklace and your ring. So those are the primary areas you want to focus on. You can see those are a bit higher than say the other ones. I mean, these 7s are outliers. So attack power, a very good stat that you want to get. You want to stack a lot of it. It's important. Crit rate is important. So this critical rate is not accurate. It says 44.62. Not super accurate. It's based upon the amount of critical resistance that the enemy has versus the amount of critical you have. It says critical resistance, sometimes we'll refer to it as fetal resistance. Fetal means critical, it's just a typo, spelling error, whatever you want to call it, mistranslation. So you need enough crit till you stop seeing white numbers. And we're going to go inside the training ground here, and I can show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to take off some gear that give me crit, and hopefully I have enough gear that I can take off in order for me. So this is a good place to train your skills, which we'll talk about in a minute. And you can open this up, and I can now hit the target, and you saw that was a yellow number. I'm going to try to take some gear off. Anything that potentially gives critical. So you see this white number here that you saw. This is a non-critical hit. And what that's doing is, it means it's not doing additional damage. And you can see this critical damage magnification. Again, fetal force means crit damage. Don't be confused by that. So the amount of critical damage that you have is going to affect how much your crits do or are enhanced by. So crit rate, crit damage, good stats. You want them. Defense penetration, another really good stat. Defense penetration along with attack power are probably the two, and aura. Aura, attack power, and defense penetration are the two best. Crit rate, you basically just need enough of it to crit all the time. Crit damage you want more of if you can, but defense penetration gives you a way to cut through the enemy's defense. So if you have enough defense, it gives you basically damage reduction. You take less percentage of damage. So defense is a good stat. It's not something you really want to focus on because you want faster clears. So you want defense penetration. You want a lot of this stat. It's something you should really focus on getting. And the more of it, you just straight up do more damage. Like attack power, like defense penetration. The attack power is easier to scale with percentage increases because it is a larger number. Defense penetration is harder to come by. So defense rate, pretty simple, straightforward, increases your defense, you get hurt for less. Critical resistance, unless you play PvP, this is a totally useless stat. PvP isn't very well developed at this time, and what it does for you is it makes the enemies crit you less. And the enemies, PvE enemies, to my knowledge, do not crit you. So along with this critical damage resistance, these are not valuable. These are just stats you don't care about. They just give you growth rate without doing anything for your character. Aura is another really important one because what Aura does is it increases the total amount that you have of the distance between you and the enemy. Essentially what it means is it is a relative value. It is like level suppression, if you're familiar with that term. And what that does is the higher or more of aura that you have over the opponent, that means that the more damage you're going to do to them and the less they're going to do to you. So if you have too little aura, you do half damage. If you have way more aura than them, you do double damage. So aura is a really important stat because as you get more of it, not only do you do more of your true damage, but you can go over and above that and multiply your damage. So aura, very important stat. HP, pretty simple. Vitality percentage just increases your health bar. That works along with defense to keep you healthy. MP, your mana pool. That's useful because most skills take mana. Some guzzle them. Some classes need this more than others. Accuracy, what this does is your moves have deviation. As you can see, it's not the same every time. So accuracy helps to minimize that deviation. It's not a very common stat to get, and it's okay. I wouldn't hate it. Attack speed, pretty straightforward. Makes you attack faster. Movement speed, again, straightforward. Makes you move faster. Town movement speed just makes you move faster only in town. Damage rate, this is only available through the legendary costumes right now. Same with damage reduction rate. This is just a flat increase to your damage and to your damage reduction. So those are all the stats that you are now aware of. And we can now figure out where to get those stats. Figure out the Conquest node has them. If you have any questions about these, where to get these stats, you can go ahead and try to look at my other videos, as I'm going to take a look here and try to show you the places where you can get those stats that you're looking for. Again, you want defense penetration, you want aura, you want attack power. Other things aren't bad to get, so you can look here at some of these dailies. You can see these stones that you can get, that's important. Soul gems, you can see those are important. Ether force is important. You can build up your rune collection, you can build up your talisman, you can build up your pet gems, you can put weapons on your costumes, you can get a costume from the cash shop or from an event. Show you the costume right here, you can see the stats on it, so you're getting stats from there. You're getting stats from your gear, you're getting aura from enhancing your gear. You're getting stats from the rolls that you do using these recalculation scrolls. So you're getting stats from these crystals that you can see from Scar over here. You can get these crystal pockets. So essentially you can get them from also from titles. You get title sets. As you complete the main story, you're going to be introduced to your first title special effect, this the set. Once you complete the set, then you can go ahead and get all these stats that are listed. If you do all the fishing, you get all these stats. And these are per character, by the way. These do not count on your account for all your characters. And if you want to use a title, this gives me 137 defense penetration, 109 critical. That's the best title I've found so far. They don't have emblems yet. This is a to-come feature, but you get these set effects, get these titles going. You can do some raid, do some Operation of Leon, get these crests going. These crests all give you stats. You can see the summary. It's small at first, but it all adds up. You can get these pets, these pet gems. these pets themselves. Pets have different stats on them. And you're going to want to get pet gems. You're going to want to open up your collection log. You can get it from event items. You can get it from fishing claims. You can get it from collecting pet gems. The item collection log is very important. You want to get defense penetration. You want to collect certain things. You want to use enhancement stones to get them, and that's how you get these values. You can toggle by attack power. You want to focus on getting these stats. So you're going to see a lot of legendaries here. I'll go to the end so you can see you're going to get these 5 sets. You want to get these important values, and you can also toggle by aura. Maybe something you want to do. These are very easy to get. +5 is guaranteed. So you want to enhance things to get aura. So overall, those are the stats you kind of want. That's kind of the places you get stats. Stats are everywhere. And those are the ones you really want to focus on, is again that attack power, defense penetration, and aura. Those are really going to help you tear through enemies. So the other topic of this video that goes along with stats and the introduction of them is I'm going to go back inside this training ground. And by the way, this is at most portals. So what you want to do is go into here, select the training ground, and enter. And what you can do in order to determine what these stats might do, if you want a better look at it, you can see, okay, well, I wonder if I got this, if I wanted to get this amount of stats, if I wanted to, I want 4,500 more attack power. And what that's going to do for me is increase my attack power by the amount that I told it to. So I want to reset it, and I just reset that. This is a great place that will allow you to set the stats that you need. If you don't have enough critical to be max crit, and you want to do more calculations in the damage report, so you can escape, hit the damage report, and this is going to tell you how much you're doing. That's an important thing for skills, is to know how much damage that these skills are doing. You can see right here that this does 1,008%, so it takes some value, it works off of that, uses 1,008%, and this skill here does 968. So you'd figure they should be kind of close, and what makes sense is, hey, yeah, 1,008 beats 968, so that makes a lot of sense. Might be some mistranslations or things not working, or class mechanics that are going to adjust these values, but basically the total damage higher number, that's going to do more damage. Again, not taking into consideration cooldown or class mechanics, but that's basically what you're looking to do. So how do you level and unlevel a skill? Basically, you're going to start with all these at 1, and I'm going to show you what exactly that these do using this skill right here, using 0 degree aurora. And what we're going to do in this training ground, I'm going to reset my skills. I have VIP or premium, whatever it's called in this version, premium, and that allows you to freely reset these abilities. Normally it costs gold to level down skills, and you can also get an overclocker to increase the skill points they have available to you by 20. Those are purchasable by the cash shop, events, other means. Basically, you can see that I have this ability, 0 degree aurora, this cannon. Let me go to this page. I'm going to turn unlimited skills on, so I can use this as many times as I want. Normally this has a cooldown, I can't spam it like this. But what you're going to see is, it does that and freezes them for a little bit. And when I level it up, you're going to see that I get this bonus for hitting level 4. So not only do skills get damage on every level, and they don't take more mana, but they get a bonus. So as you see, they get the damage, but they get a bonus of this level 4 attribute. So you can see I'm going to do that. And you can't visually see it, but the debuff caused it to be frozen for a little bit longer. Let me bring it up to 8. Or rather, I'm going to show you level 12. It gets this effect that's very visible. So at level 12, what it does is it affects the skill. So now the skill is specially magnified. Not only is it doing more damage on each level, now it has this special attribute to it. And you can see that I'm now having a beam that is wider. And again, if I increase it to 16, what this does is this lets me use an ability that will not only, okay, so now you saw that it still has this beam function, but if I do this move that doesn't normally alter it, what I do is I use it, and then I can change it. And not only does that change it, but that puts the character into an iframe state. You can see how I'm glowing white. That means that my character is not able to be hit, is invulnerable to damage, any CC, what have you. So that is a useful function of leveling up the skill, is that is going to change fundamentally how the ability works. And that only works once you hit the set or the tier. You have to hit that in order to be able to acquire those effects. So again, damage and effects, those are what you're looking for. You have to take that into consideration when you're doing your character. If you have VIP premium, you can also make a second skill set, which lets you swap between them if you're doing different content. Again, you can de-level these for free if you're doing different content that might be easier or harder for certain ways of playing. But that's leveling up skills. So other things that you might want to know about is burst charge. Burst charge is when you are hit. Let me try to summon a monster that will attack me. If I remember his name. It is not you, it is a little bit farther. There is a character that I'm looking for that has a get up attack so that I can demonstrate this. It is not. Maybe it's this guy? Does this guy do it? No, he just stands up. Okay, so we're going to keep trying to find the guy who falls down and gets back up. We're going to go through these one at a time. So basically with skills, you're looking to just find what does the best damage for you while also providing you with the best utility or the best functionality, because it's tied to your damage as well as your abilities. So take a look at them, figure it out, and that's an important part of this game, is figuring out a good build and just going with it. And I am having no luck finding this guy. Normally I test all my things on him. That's not him. It should be in order. Okay, it's this guy. Here we go. So this guy has a get up attack. So normally, that's what happens when you get hit. You roll around, you become invulnerable once you hit. So we're going to summon him again. I'm going to do burst charge. And this is your tab key, and that lets you iframe and get out of it. Here you have EX mode. I hit by tab doing that. It gives you stats when you EX. And you have augmented abilities that do a lot more damage. And by leveling up the associated skill with it, so what you saw there was Frosty Road EX. And that lets me, you can see on that, it summons a bunch of these ice spikes that attack the enemy. By leveling up Frosty Road, I'm increasing the damage of the Awaken skill. And how you get that is by EX energy, is by attacking and getting hit. So once you get enough of that, you can then, you see it's building up there as I do damage. I'll summon him again. And just to show you the value of this attack, if I then use this EX, it just does a ton of damage. So super moves that you want to use in the appropriate situations. So something that you might notice on the character is a red outline. It's hard to see because of the effects of this character. And I wonder if I don't think I have a move that, I do have a move that has it. So you can see I have a red outline on my character now, and that means I have what is called super armor or ultra. And what that means is that my character is not able to be interrupted unless the attack specifically is an ultra break. So you can see right here, it says it has super or ultra. And what that means is that it's, again, you can get hit still, but you're not going to be staggered. You're not going to move. So when this guy gets knocked down, you can see he's not gonna move when I shoot him because he has ultra or super armor. Different versions call it different things. But now if I would have normally be hitting him, he's staggered. So that super armor lets you take hits or avoid getting interrupted. So it can be a valuable stat to build into valuable on skills. If you have something called an ultra break, which I don't know that I have one specifically. It might be an EX skill that I have that has it. But what ultra break does is it takes that ultra that the target has and actually removes it. So this is a super break. So it's an ultra break or super armor break. And what it does is, if this, I'm going to take off some of my gear so I don't kill him right away. If you notice, when I kill him, and I'm going to try to make him get up. See, that ultra broke him, meaning that he wasn't able to do that ultra state like he wanted to do. And so that, if you have a character that specializes in those, you're going to want to make sure to utilize them properly. Because some enemies, it varies. Some enemies can be ultra broken, some cannot. It's a little wonky. It's going to be something you have to test on your own. So some debuffs you can notice are like slow. This is cold injury is a Frost Mage specific. Slow is not. It makes them physically move slower, respond to things slower. So pay attention to those kind of debuffs. Pay attention to the debuffs too. This one, it reduces the damage that you take in order to increase the mana you receive. The dash, something else that unique to this version is this mana activation. So this is giving you, as it says, the amount of lost mana every amount of seconds, and you can get skills that stack that. You can get it through normal attacks. You can restore mana through normal attacks. You can get, as you can see, you can get it from dash attacks too. There are several different ways that you can acquire this mana activation buff. And out of all those, in terms of skills, the thing you want to do is go to this damage report and figure out what skills are doing what. It tells you how many times you've used it, how much damage it's done, the average amount, and the total amount based upon the damage that you've dealt. You even select the enemies. So if I wanted to specifically know how much I did against a boss versus the enemies, that's an important thing to consider when you're trying to figure out, okay, what skills am I using, what's doing the best for me. Maybe I need to use that more, or maybe I'm not using a certain skill enough. So those are things to consider. You have the normal attacks, the dashes, the burst charge, the EX, the class skills, the leveling, the damage report, all that good stuff. So just make sure to try to read, and if you have any questions about your class, please ask in the comments. I'm not knowledgeable at every class, but I have enough people around me that I might be able to figure out an answer. And you can always join the official Discord. I'll leave a link down in the description. And hopefully somebody there will have a question for you. Anything Frost Mage, obviously I have an answer for you. Anything else other than Halo Mage, you're really testing my limits there. So again, feel free to join the Discord and ask. Hopefully you guys had some use out of figuring out what some of these stats did, what some of these statuses are, and how to build up your skills. And hope you get some good luck in your runs. And that's all from me. Take care.